women have equal rights. So what's the problem? Okay. Women have in Canada and United States, women have the exact same legal rights as a man. All right. So I'm curious on what do women keep complaining about and what's the problem with equal rights? And in this video, I'm going to go over the 5 ways men actually have less rights and ways more oppressed than women. And yes, I'm going to talk about abortion rights. Oh, yeah, this video is going to go deep and might even cause some controversy. All right, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kane. I'm the Silver Bachelor. This channel is 100% dedicated to dating advice for older guys. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and the notification button because I'm dropping videos every week. Woo! Okay, let's get into this. So, under the U.S. Constitution, I'm talking about United States. Under the U.S. Constitution and federal state law, men and women have equal rights in these areas. Specifically, okay, voting, free speech, due process, property ownership, filing for patents, employment, education, marriage, divorce, parenting, basically, and bodily autonomy outside of pregnancy law and abortions. But we're going to get into this. There is no federal statute that says men may do X, women may not. All right. There are no rights that men have that women do not have. Okay. In caps. So I don't understand why women keep complaining and thinking that there's no equal rights. And even when it comes to certain politicians, it's like, oh, this person's for equal rights. And I'm thinking, what equal rights are you talking about? Maybe trans and the LGBTQ community, that's a little bit different. But I'm talking men and women in terms of equal rights between the two sexes, okay? So, number one, let's get into this on how men actually sometimes have less rights and more oppression than women. Number one, let's talk about reproductive rights, right? A woman can carry a baby to term. They can have an abortion. We're legal, okay? And they can opt out, right? They can opt out of having the baby, or they could choose to have a baby, okay? A man has no ability to opt in or out of parenthood. Once conception occurs, they have no ability to opt in or out. And the father must pay child support regardless of consent, deception, or contraceptive failure. There's no financial abortion for men, okay? Just to keep on this topic, I was in Canada. I'm from Canada, and I moved to the United States, and I was married. Even in Canada, where abortion is allowed across the country, as a husband in a marriage, the husband has no say at all, zero rights on should the child be aborted or the baby be aborted or we keep the baby. The husband, and you're in a marriage together, which has a lot of consequences if that marriage breaks up, as you know. Most men pay dearly for a divorce. But as the husband in a marriage, he has zero rights when it comes to being a father or not. Zero, not even a say, nothing. It's her body. She does whatever she wants, even if she's married. Is that fair? Especially for men, okay? Number two, parental rights in practice. The courts claim neutrality, but mothers receive primary custody for far more than the man gets custody. Now, you might argue, well, there's all these reasons, but I'm just stating some facts, okay? Men face higher legal and financial barriers to equal parenting. That's a fact. This is not written law, but judicial reality of this is what happens to men when it comes to custody cases. Number three, selective service draft registration. This is a big one, all right? Men must register for selective service at 18. There's no right to opt out. Women do not, and still as of now, and do not have to be part of the draft in the event of war to go and kill or be killed. Women do not have that. Men have no right to opt out of that, okay? This is the consequence of a man in United States of America opting out of the draft if there were to be a draft, okay? And yet women want equality, but they don't want to be in a war situation and drafted. So what equality are we talking about here? So if the man fails to be part of selective service and in the draft, he could lose federal student aid, he could lose government jobs, and he could lose citizen benefits. That's right. And this is the one and only clear legal sex-based obligations that only apply to men. Where's the equality in this? So men have no right to opt out of it. And if they do, there are severe consequences, okay? Number 4, criminal sentencing. Men receive longer sentences than women for the same crimes on average. And yet you have women whining and complaining about the so-called mysterious wage gap, or this wage gap, which, by the way, let me just go on a rant quickly about the wage gap, just for the facts, okay? There's 2 parts of the wage gap. There's one of, oh, women only make 70 cents to the dollar. It's actually 82 cents, but I'm going to explain that one. Or same job, same job, woman, man, the man's going to make more. So let's get into this quick. So the 70 cents to the dollar, it's actually 82 cents. What they did is they took all the jobs that women do and all the jobs that men do, came up with an average of what do these men make per year. Okay, sure, based on that, it's 82 cents to the dollar. But what it doesn't factor in is all the jobs that men are doing that are dangerous, that are risky, that are scientific, that are very demanding on the body, all these things. The more dangerous the job, the more scientific, as an example, and the more risk, the higher those jobs are going to pay, and women don't want to do those jobs, okay? For example, only 5% of women are in the actual army, all right? Only 15% are police officers. Only 5% are firefighters. Only, I can go on and on, but I'm not going to do that. But women don't want to do those type of jobs. They don't. So you can't compare. It's not apples to apples. It's apples to oranges. The second point about, same job, the woman's going to make less. Well, in a way, that's correct. She will make 3 to 4% less. You know why she makes 3 to 4% less? Because men negotiate salaries. Yep, at least 48%, at least 30 out of the 34% of people that negotiate salaries, basically it's 48% men negotiate the salaries. And women, it's only 30%. So that explains the 3 to 4% difference. But you get these women crying and complaining, well, we want equality and we want to get the same pay. It's like, well, you are, right? So anyways, when it comes to crimes, right, men receive much longer sentences than women for the same crimes, but you don't hear men crying and bitching and complaining about that. Number 5, domestic violence and sexual assault framing, all right? Male victims are less to be believed, okay? A woman can say, oh, he hit me. Oh, he did this. And the police will believe her, and the man has no recourse. He can't do anything, right? So this is an oppression thing that men have no way to get out of it, right? If a woman just comes up with something. Men have fewer shelters and resources. Laws are gender neutral, but the enforcement and social response is not towards men. And there's more men in homeless shelters, and more men commit suicide, and more men in prisons, okay? So, ladies, I need to ask you this. What is the problem? You keep complaining about equal rights. Explain this to me. Explain to me what rights you have. What rights do men have that a woman doesn't have, okay? It's actually the opposite. Men don't have the same rights that women do in some of the examples that I mentioned. All right. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. We'll see you next time.